Fortnite and Adventure Time are two of some of my favorite pieces of media of all time, and through the graces of Multiverse's failures, we were granted a collaboration between the two, which I had made concepts for almost 2 years ago, but let's not talk about that right now. We got the collaboration, and while done very well in some aspects, in others it was sorely lacking, and I'm not even talking about how all the cool emotes, backblings, pickaxes, or anything else that should have been in a bundle was explicitly withheld from the bundle for money? But that's not even my main issue with the collab, it's the styles for the skins. The most exciting thing to me about these Fortnite collabs is trying to see how much love and care just a singular skin can receive. If a skin has a variety of customization options, I'm more likely to buy it because it includes more from the media that I like. It also shows that the Fortnite team cares a bit more and makes the money coming out of my pocket hurt a bit less. So with examples like this, that have at least 2 different outfits for each style, or even this, why the hell is this acceptable? You label the skin as having different styles, but the only options for all 4 of them is giving them shadows? You do that for every other skin anyways, and they have entirely different outfits with that? So that's why today I wanted to give a realistic look at how Fortnite should have gone about the styles for their Adventure Time collab, and maybe someday these can be included, even though it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen at all. So the first thing I'm absolutely changing is how the bundles work for this. There should be no reason that the only option to save V-Bucks when buying these skins is to buy the entire bundle, which doesn't even come with everything in the collab. So how about this, Epic Games? Let's split the current bundle into 2. The first being the Jake the Dog and Finn the Human bundle, and the Eternal Lovers bundle containing Marceline and Princess Bubblegum. So whatever comes in the current bundle, just split that in half. Now, it doesn't seem that unrealistic to spend however much V-Bucks to get the 2 skins and their respective items without the extra stuff, huh? Now, how about if you did want to spend a large amount of V-Bucks to get the entire bundle, how about you include every item? Why is BMO not in the bundle? It's BMO, they're a part of the main cast, so what is going on, bro? For this video, I'm aiming to include just one other outfit that changes what the character is wearing for the most part to make each style feel a bit different from the others. In some cases there may be more, but I'll try to keep it relatively simple. Remember, I'm trying to create a semi-realistic version of how Epic Games does its collabs the right way.
Jake! I know this isn't a mirror. What the? You're doing it wrong even!
So let's start with Finn's skin. I can say this with certainty, this is Finn the Human. And Epic, for the life of me, I cannot figure out the reason why you would exclude the easiest way to squeeze out a single style for this collab that would most likely take you 30 minutes in Blender to do. Finn's metal arm? Epic, are we serious right now? Look at these 2 pictures of Finn. Look how easy that is! I would have just taken this, but I guess at some point we need to just start having some self-respect for ourselves, so that's why this video is out right now. Now for Finn's actual other style that changes his clothing, I was looking to make sure I chose something that held some type of relevance to the story. Throughout the 10 seasons of the show, his and everybody else's outfits change a lot, so there's quite a few I could have picked from. The one I ended up choosing though was Finn's pajama outfit. I feel that throughout the show we see this one a lot and is home to some of the funniest episodes, and is honestly the first thing that pops into my mind when I'm not thinking of his regular outfit.
We have to get rid of this horse, for us!
I know, bro! I know!
Oh, Finn, this horse is bringing us together now. This horse is a blessing.
What? Dude, you've lost it!
You! Wait! The horse is tearing us apart again!
It's similar but different enough to warrant its own style, and doesn't seem like a lot of effort to implement. So look at this. This isn't crazy and isn't doing too much, and I really wish they would have done at least the metal arm for Finn, but we can't have good things. Honestly, I thought of giving Finn 3 alternate hairstyles since he changes it up all the time in the show that you could swap around, but I didn't realistically see Epic adding this, so I decided to cut it from my final version. Next we have Jake, which I had a few more issues with trying to figure out how to go about him. Before this collab even happened, I had no idea how they were going to implement him. My first thought was the Jake suit with an option for showing Finn's face or just having a closed mouth, so it technically just be a buff Jake like they did for Peter Griffin, but that's not what they chose for this. The one we got was interesting. I wouldn't say it's my favorite design they could have gone with, but I think it's funny enough and fits with his stretchy powers without making him look too strange. So my first idea for Jake was having 2 new styles, being his parents Margaret and Joshua. since they look exactly like him just with accessories, so it'd be relatively easy to make. The issue I found with that was since his legs were stretched out a lot more than how the dogs usually are in the show, it wouldn't really make sense since he has the powers and his parents don't, so it would break continuity in a sense. I also thought about adding a style for Jermaine, him and Finn's brother, but I had the same issue, he doesn't have the powers, so I began looking at some of his appearances in other episodes. In BMO's Distant Land episode, we finally see Jake when he was in his younger years, wearing an entirely new outfit than what he usually does. But he only showed up for about 10 seconds, so I didn't think it'd be as recognizable as something else on this list. So I ended up settling for a Christmas sweater Jake. It's just him wearing a Christmas sweater and it's simple. It originates from the two-parter Holly Jolly Secrets episode, so at least it has more prominence than his Distant Lands version. And with Fortnite's Simpsons season, it's obvious they're not scared to just have a holiday skin included in the main characters, so I think this would fit nicely with Jake. So him having these two styles I think is completely viable, so let's head over to our other pack.
Princess, wait!
Princess Bubblegum and Marceline's potential styles for the outfits was much harder than Finn and Jake's, mostly because as the series continued, almost every episode they would appear in, they would have an entirely new outfit and hairstyle, so their list of outfits is insane. So for these two, I decided I wanted to give them 3 unique styles each. Princess Bubblegum keeps the style she already has in Fortnite. I just think it's a bit weird they grabbed Princess Bubblegum's outfit from season 3 episode 10's What Was Missing, but didn't include Marceline's outfits from the same episode, even though it was such a big moment for the two characters going forward. I'd honestly replace Marceline's design with the one from this episode, mostly just because I'm not a fan of her original appearance, and there's so much better ones they could have pulled for the game. Next for PB, I think it's a shame they didn't give her her most iconic outfit in the show, her dress and crown, so of course she gets that. For Marceline, I think one of her most iconic looks is her cat sweater, which appears in the two-parter Return of the Nightosphere episodes. I see people wearing and talking about this sweater all the time, so I think it's deserving of its own style in Fortnite. Finally, for both of them, I wanted to give them their outfits from their dedicated Distant Lands episode, Obsidian. This episode was a major closure to the stories of both of these characters and is so phenomenal in every way, so if you haven't seen that episode or just Adventure Time in general, please go watch that episode, it's amazing. So I think it's more than deserving to get their own styles. I think Marceline's biker outfit in this episode is one of my favorite outfits for her in the entirety of Adventure Time, so I mean, I would love to see it in there. Maybe I'm biased, maybe there's other outfits, but I think this one would be pretty cool to see in Fortnite. So one other thing that bothers me about this collab is there being no way to take on or off hats. And talking about hats, Marceline doesn't have her sun hat. It's the one thing that is so easy and just makes sense to give her. Just give her her hat so she can run around in the sun in game and have it make sense for why she isn't burning and dying. Just let her take off her hat and her helmet for her obsidian skin, and let Princess Bubblegum take off her crown. It just makes perfect sense. These things are minor details for the skins, but I think it would just make the purchase for these skins and having them in the game just seem that much better. So now I've finished talking about the skins, but I have one more thing that I think would be cool to have in this Adventure Time collab. Finn's collection of swords in the show is abundant, with each one playing a part in a certain time within his story and life. When you watch an episode and see which sword he currently has, you immediately know what sort of mindset and maturity level he's at within the show. Also, his swords are just iconic in general, and some of them even lead to one of the greatest storylines in the show. So I thought I could see Epic releasing a Finn's sword collection bundle with some of his coolest weapons. I assume when buying Finn's skin, you automatically gain his original sword. I looked at his large catalog and narrowed it down to the 3 swords I felt were the most important to the story: the Demon Blood sword, the Grass sword, and the Finn sword. All iconic in their own right and would be free money for Epic. Like, Epic, I'm giving you free sauce right here, bro. So like, if you need to put me on the team, like, I got you. I even thought if you have the Finn skin equipped, when you have the Grass sword sheath, just like in the show, it'll wrap around Finn's wrist. It's such a small detail, which would be so cool to see in game. So this is the final look at my version of the Adventure Time Fortnite bundle. I have a few more ideas for a potential wave 2 if anyone seems interested in that. And if you're wondering why Cake wasn't a style for Jake, all I can say is money. So I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything you would change or add yourself, let me know in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe, and peace, y'all.